Coming up on the CHGO Cubs Podcast, Bah Humbug. Which Cubs moves are you sending back or taking back for a new size or just returning to the store? Plus, Brennen to the Bronx, the holiday draft, and what's next for Jed? CHGO Cubs, next. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Coming at you live on this Sunnyside Thursday. This is the CHGO Cubs Podcast. Visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 and older or Illinois medical card holders. It is Thursday, December 26th, the day after Christmas. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, Sarah running the 1s and 2s before she takes over the Bears tailgate in a couple hours. Don't forget, Big Bears tailgate, 2 o'clock.
Be there.
Be there.
I mean, it's honestly the only thing to look forward to for the Bears the rest of the season is the last tailgate.
Yeah, this is
because I sure as hell ain't looking forward to the game.
No, you don't want them to win. You don't even want them to win the game.
All I can say
They'll
is
ruin their draft pick. Why win today? Why win this game?
You know how sad it is that you're talking about we don't want them to win because of the draft position.
Oh, right. Remember the big party we had at Joe's for the draft?
Yeah.
And they took Caleb and then Droma Dunze and everybody went crazy and Braggs flexed and ripped his shirt off.
The Cubs had one of their most disappointing seasons of my adult life, and then the Bears said, hold my beer this year. All right.
Yes, they did.
Maybe 2019 rivals this particular season for the Chicago Bears, but like, bah humbug.
That's right. Look at this microphone wants to run away from me. Look at that. It just keeps wanting to go away. I'll have to hold it the whole show, I guess. Anyways.
Yeah, the tailgate should be fun, though.
Tailgate would be fun.
And it's like 40 degrees, 46.
As long as it's not raining.
We had a fire pit.
46
though.
and rain would not be fun.
It's wet out there, but
we have a fire pit.
On Sunday it was freezing.
Oh my God, it was so cold. But honestly, we had 3 heaters and then we had a fire pit, and it was honestly not bad. Today won't be as cold though, so it'll be fine.
How was Christmas?
Christmas
Everybody
was
do well?
good.
Yeah. Sarah had some cocktails. This is the first year ever in my life I had
cookies?
had not only no cocktails, like not that I'm a big cocktail drinker, but 0 cocktails.
Wow.
And here's the big part. This is where 0 cocktails. I've done that before. 0 cocktails and no television.
Oh,
no
wow.
television until the kids went to bed. I didn't see the NBA games. I didn't see the NFL games. None of it.
What did you do the television entire time?
Well, we didn't open our presents. We don't open our presents till Christmas Day. So then it was brunch and the kids are running around and you're just
being a parent.
Yeah, you're being a parent. You're just chasing children and trying to keep sharp objects out of their hands and changing diapers and getting them to stop fighting with their toys. You know, that stuff.
We're a big Christmas movie family on Christmas Day.
I'm looking forward to the one Cody told me to watch, the Carry On.
Carry On Netflix?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. No, it's supposed to be great. I did watch we watched all but 1 minute of the Nate Bargatze new stand-up routine on.
Oh, nice.
That was at night, so that was good.
Yeah, I mean, watched Home Alone.
Happy Hanukkah, Gary.
Watched Home Alone 2.
Is it day 2 of Hanukkah? Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, Gary.
See, I know.
And watched Santa Claus. Did a deep dive on where the Santa Claus was even made. Turns out it was made in Toronto, Canada, but it is like fictionally set in Chicago or Lakeside, Illinois, which I always just assumed.
Oh, the movie you're talking about?
Yeah, the one with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Overall, a pretty chill Christmas. I was at her parents' for Christmas Day, and they traditionally do like an appetizer like platter instead of like a meal. All I can say is meatballs, are undefeated.
Meatballs are solid.
They're just so undefeated.
You know what one of the highlights of my Christmas, other than the kids open the gifts, that's fun. One of the highlights was Do Right Donuts delivered to my front door fresh on Christmas Day. Mother-in-law had them sent. Boom. Box of donuts.
I did see you tweet that yesterday.
They were great. I've had so much junk the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Donuts. A coffee cake from Jarish Bakery, which I always get the Christmas tree coffee cake, and might have bought 2 and froze the other ones. Coffee cakes, cookies from, homemade cookies, donuts. That's all I'm thinking about sitting in this chair is going home and eating more of it.
Yeah. I've had more cookies than you can. I don't know how many cookies I've had, but
there's
I've had
no
a lot.
limit. There's no limit on the holiday. You do it until you get sick.
Yeah. I had some cookies. I've had some brownies. I've had nothing but terrible things.
I had like a 6-ounce filet last night. I ate the whole thing. We're a big steak family.
Sarah's like, hold my beer.
But it's been a while.
It was good. I had champagne, steak, and cookies all day.
Well, excuse me. Isn't your family fancy?
Yeah.
We had salty ham.
Where's the invite? I should have gone to your house.
Champagne and fillets.
That makes up for your ankle that you bruised or whatever.
I know. No, I know. I tripped over a present. It was a big box, and Flex, it was a Ralph Lauren box that I tripped over. So it was those are really hard big boxes.
Yeah.
I bruised my whole side of my ankle.
Ralph Lauren, they make very sturdy boxes.
Yes, they do. I will say it was a present for my brother. It was not. I didn't get any RLs this year.
You know how there was probably actually something Ralph Lauren in there. We reused the boxes, so it's like if we had a wedding present that came in a Tiffany's box, it's showing up at Christmas still being wrapped. So somebody opens up, a stuffed animal and it's in a Tiffany's box, although it's not from Tiffany's.
Becky says that she had a roast.
Oh, nice. A roast.
Nice.
The roast beast.
I do like a good roast.
Yeah, but a filet sounds real good right now. Real good.
Normally, Chinese food is also like on the menu, but this year not. We didn't do it this year.
I've had Chinese food on Christmas when I worked. I was on local TV. I remember in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Chinese restaurant was next to the station, so that's where we went in between shows. Was Chinese restaurant. Let's see. Hi to everybody in the live YouTube chat. Mike Dubs is here. Says Merry Christmas. I did not get Roki under my tree. It was a mid-Christmas.
Yeah, Vanessa Hudgens wasn't there from me either, Mike.
Godfather fractured his wrist walking the dog.
Damn, Godfather.
Oh.
Sorry to hear.
That's
we had
awful.
one injury last night, though, besides
How was he
my ankle.
typing?
My dad cut himself on the steak knives, cleaning them in the sink, and he slit his finger. Now, luckily, my brother's girlfriend is a nurse, so she literally she patched it all up and everything, and he's fine. But we had one serious injury.
Oh, that's they call that the Quintana.
Yeah.
Jose Quintana cut his hands doing the dishes.
Oh yeah,
didn't he?
doing dishes.
Look at I sliced my hand. I've had Neosporin on the hand.
What?
Thank you for worrying about me and all the well wishes. I cut it opening the egg carton. Some of the egg cartons are the plastic kind now. They're not like some are the regular, I don't know, cardboard or whatever that is. Some are the hard plastic. The thing sliced my hand open.
Ugh. What a
podcast, huh?
What's more bizarre? What's more bizarre? Jose Quintana doing that, washing dishes, getting hurt, getting put on the injured list, washing dishes, or Brandon Morrow putting pants on. Yeah.
Sammy threw out his back sneezing, and Kerry Wood got hurt getting out of the hot tub, right?
Yeah, something like that.
There's been plenty of interesting ones.
Godfather says, hell, getting old, boys.
Gary said he had Chinese food on Christmas Eve. What about Hanukkah? What are you having for each day of Hanukkah, Gary?
Yeah. As you can see, there's not a lot going on in Cubs world, so we're just over here chatting.
Oh, we're just talking.
We're just chatting,
We will talk Cubs. We do have stuff to talk about. I am curious, today is the day where everybody runs to the mall and returns the stuff for something they actually want, right?
Yeah.
The socks go back. The ugly sweater goes back.
Your mom thought you were too fat and got you a size too
Mom
big.
got you the wrong size. Mom, when did I start wearing XXL? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't wear those anymore, Mom. What Cubs moves would you return to the store today? Is there a recent Cubs move or I know that Barb would return Michael Bush. But that's a year old. I don't know if that's too late to return.
I think that's too late to return. There's always a month. You always get a month.
Is there a move that they made so far that you would say, I'd return that? Like, is Matthew Boyd not do it for you? Would you return Boyd for a different pitcher?
Well,
Bueller or somebody else?
Bueller got 1 year, $21 million. Boyd got, 2 years, 30? Something like that.
Would you rather have a risk, just a 1 year Bueller at 20?
They're both around the same age. I think their situations are different. Would I rather, is there other arms out there that I like better than Matthew Boyd? Sure. I can't
say that there's one that I have to return.
No.
Right? Like the Tucker, I'm not returning that. I kind of like the deal.
I think most people do. The only reason people don't like it is because they don't think the Cubs will give him the long-term deal. 1
year for 1 year, it's interesting. Who was I reading today? Was it Jesse or was it? I do want to talk about the Jesse Rodgers article in a little bit, but it was Jesse. He was talking about the amount of control that the Cubs, they gave back 3 years of control for Paredes, 5 years of control for Wesneski, and 6 years of control for Cam Smith for a guy that they'll have from 1 year. That's the price of business. But that's a lot of cheap control. Obviously, you're getting back a star player. I hope you're going to get more control by giving him money after this, but that is a heavy price.
Sure. Well, listen, most people are upset about trading Cam Smith, but like Isaac Paredes measures up well in that ballpark with that pulse swing of his, with the Crawford
I think he'll
boxes.
Be good for Houston.
I think he could hit 25 to 30 bombs with Houston next year.
That's why they wanted him last year. Yeah. And I don't.
Now, is he better than Alex Bregman? No, but he's a nice little bridge piece until they get to Cam Smith. Because they're not going to bring back Alex Bregman now that they signed Christian Walker. They signed Christian Walker. They're saying they're passing on Bregman. And, as long as Altuve and Yordan Alvarez are there and they have pitchers like Framber Valdez and other guys.
Pena bounces back with a big year. He didn't have a great year last year either.
Right. They should still be a playoff team. I don't know if they're a World Series contender anymore. And that's due to their... I think you can blame ownership for them on them perhaps taking a step back, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're a contender next year. But as we sit here right now, looking at the roster, I'm like, okay, Altuve and Alvarez are there, cool. Like those are great players, right? But saying goodbye to Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker is you're losing a lot. So they're gonna need Paredes to be a guy, and they're going to need Christian Walker to be a guy for them next year too, which they certainly could. I look at Christian Walker though, and I'm like, okay, is this Jose Abreu 2.0, or is this a nice bridge spot for a young guy down the road?
It's interesting. They've walked away from some of the bigger names now. They've been successful, good for like a 10-year stretch, really good for like a 10-year stretch. They've walked away from Carlos Correa, Bregman, and Tucker.
Yeah, they only kept Altuve, and they didn't develop Alvarez. I mean, they traded for him.
That's the difference. The Cubs walked away from some of their stars too. Now their stars weren't necessarily stars when they were leaving, right?
They weren't leaving at their peakest value.
They've had guys come in and fill the void. The Cubs didn't have guys come in and fill the void. It's interesting.
So we'll see how much longer this era of Houston Astros baseball continues. History says that they figure it out, and they're always in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. We'll see. But the Kyle Tucker trade, I think there's more to it than just sending off Cam Smith. That is why, to me, they have to pay him.
Right.
They have to pay him.
Please.
I don't care what it is. You pay that man whatever it is, because at the end of the day, it's Tom Ricketts' money, not mine. You pay him whatever, man.
Jesse's article doesn't sound too optimistic for that. Godfather says you're a mean one, Mr. Ricketts, meaning the Grinch. We're going to talk more about the Jesse article, and we're going to talk about what is Baseball's Day. Yesterday was the NBA and the NFL fighting. What's Baseball's Day? Coming up in a second. But first, talk about some of our sponsors. With Empire Today, you get to shop at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, and quick professional installation, plus a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they have copycats, but Empire can't be beaten on quality, service, and speed, so competitors then try to advertise low-quality products that Empire just won't even carry. Empire's not going to promise you the lowest prices because anybody that's doing that is putting flooring in your home that they would not put in theirs. Empire's philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices. So what they leave out of their selection is just as important as what they put in. And the virtual floor designers are a great way to see how the new floors will look in any space. Just snap a picture, see how the floors will look in your room. Shopping for floors at the big box store can be frustrating. You might be talking to somebody today that was working in plumbing yesterday, selling Christmas trees the day before that. Now, if an issue does come up, it's rare, but if it does, just call Empire. They service their own warranties. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 discount when they use the promo code CHGO. That's $350 off using the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. Hey guys, with HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. You know, I love the holidays, but they're so busy, and I'm always looking for ways to reduce stress. HelloFresh makes mealtime manageable, saving you from searching for the recipes for all the grocery shopping. You just pick out your meals, everything you need delivered right to your door. HelloFresh recipe includes high-quality, sustainable sourced ingredients like produce that comes fresh from the farm. So here's the deal. You ready for this? You can get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free Cubs. Applied across 7 boxes. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/free Cubs. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, so we were talking before the break. Get to the Jesse Rodgers thing. I am curious. Cody brought this up in the pre-show thumb wrestling. Pre-show thumb wrestling tournament.
Twiddling each other's thumbs.
Twiddling each other's thumbs.
It was just me, Luke, and Sarah.
Can't you just see Jed and Carter and their family sitting around for the holidays? Who's next? Whoa, you're good at it. So you brought up yesterday, LeBron gets in his end of game interview, and people are like, "This is why he's the NBA." LeBron, he says afterwards, "We still own Christmas Day. This is our day." I didn't think it was that big a deal. Whatever.
The game was awesome. That was probably the best NBA game of the day.
Well, Steph and LeBron are exciting theater sometimes.
Well, and
Steph Curry
it ended on basically a buzzer beater. So yeah, that was probably the best game. I didn't watch it.
Me neither.
But I followed the NBA yesterday because I'm a degenerate, who, by the way, finished up yesterday.
Oh,
all right.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Santa delivered for me.
Or if you live in London, Happy Christmas.
Yeah. I was told that's a thing.
I told you that on Tuesday.
Was it
I was watching some show, and all of a sudden the people in London are saying Happy Christmas, weirdos. That's why we left. That's why we left and came over here.
Okay. Anyway.
I digress.
So anyway,
successful gambling. We didn't watch the NBA.
No.
I didn't watch the NFL, but the NFL it's always been the NBA's day. You know, you get up, you'd be excited. D-Rose and
the last couple of years, the NFL has put games on Christmas
all of a sudden
Day
the
now.
NFL was like, "You think you own the Christmas Day audience?" Because New Year's Day is football.
Right.
No. The NFL can't leave anybody alone. We're taking it. So then they put it on Netflix, which apparently went fine.
I was going to say, I was so worried.
It actually did go well. There was no buffering, and I thought the broadcast and pre and post game crew were good.
I fell asleep during the Chiefs game.
I mean, the only downside to both were like they were blowouts.
They were blowouts,
you know. Yeah. But other than that, like I thought, like they did, like the broadcast and everything was great. Like from a media standpoint, I thought it went well.
Well, that's good.
So, anyway.
Barb is wondering if we all went to Chili's.
I wish I could have used that triple dipper yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, if
brother.
somebody wants to send me a holiday gift, a Chili's gift card is always welcome.
Seriously, yeah.
Fajitas. You said a queso's good?
Yeah. The triple dipper, I'm telling you, dude.
Triple dipper is something I'm going to look
telling
into.
you. That fried mozzarella.
Maybe for lunch today on the way home.
So anyway, so what
what's the Cubs? What's baseball's day?
Yeah, what's baseball's day? I don't know. Like, we were over there debating, like, is it just opening day?
Yes, but that's the problem. That is a problem.
That is a problem.
It's yet another problem for the sport. Well, we love the sport.
This problem isn't a problem for me and Luke. This is a problem for the league. The fact that baseball doesn't particularly have it, like maybe 4th of July, because nothing says summer, 4th of July, like baseball and being at the ballpark, whatever. Right. But like, even that doesn't fit because it's not like people are sitting down on their couch to watch baseball. It's more likely you're going to the ballpark, which is fine, I guess.
Right.
But
I don't even know.
When you're talking about what is the one day that you're going to sit down and watch baseball for sure, opening day is probably the only day I can think of that where I think majority of people are doing it. And I hate
to disagree with Dubs and Terry in the live YouTube chat. For me personally, I have never said to myself on the 4th of July, let me put down the sparkler. I have to go watch baseball unless I'm working, right? Like I've never thought to myself, tell me one 4th of July Cubs game that sticks in your head where you're like, wow, remember when we all sat around and watched that 4th of July Cubs game? If you weren't at the ballpark, right? Like part of the problem for baseball is, well, they got a lot of them. Number one is the young audience isn't watching them as much as they used to.
Sure.
But they don't have opening day is the day, the beginning of the season, the first day. Because when you get to the end, their postseason, the World Series, you have to be a diehard about it because they're jamming it in the beginning of football season.
Yeah.
And football is king nowadays.
Yeah.
Football has taken over. So it's even the World Series is kind of being like overshadowed by the other sports.
Except for
this
past year, maybe just because it was the Yankees and the Dodgers. Well, like I don't necessarily disagree about July 4th. It's just about like because the vibe, like 4th of July, you're outside. It's
not a holiday.
You're grilling with your family in your backyard. You might have the game on. You might have Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer on the radio.
The beach, you're at a barbecue. You're at all those things.
Right? Like you might have them on radio, but like me and Luke are particularly saying, what is the day that you for sure sit down on your couch and watch baseball all day? Because that's the argument that the NBA or that NBA and NFL fans are making about yesterday.
Right.
I understand it was Christmas Day and it's cold outside. But I don't, like, outside of opening day, I can't think of a day where people are like, I'm going to sit down and watch the entire slate of baseball games. Or at least, like, have multiple games on during the day or watch multiple games throughout the day. I don't think there is one except for opening day.
There is no summer holiday that
where you sit down and do that.
There's just no summer holiday that is on par with Christmas Day or New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Right? They're just
Memorial Day is a lot like July 4th.
There is a Memorial Day. We all love it, but it's barbecuing.
Yeah,
and
you're outside.
The only one that could be close is 4th of July, but it's all about being outside.
Yeah.
So I'll take opening day as the answer, but the problem is opening day is a different day for a lot of teams. It's not even the same day for everybody anymore.
Yeah.
But people do take off for opening day.
Yeah.
They do take off of school and work sometimes.
Yeah.
I never got to, but
And this isn't even like a slant at baseball because it's the same thing in the NBA and the NFL. Like no one cares about the NBA All-Star game. I guess more people probably care about the 3-point contest and the and the dunk contest. But no one cares about the actual All-Star game. And then the
NFL,
NFL
more about baseball's All-Star game than any other.
Sure. I think I would agree with that too. I care more about the home run derby than any of the other side gigs that are part of the All-Star festivities. No one cares about the Pro Bowl. If there's anything the NFL is failing at miserably, it's like their quote-unquote All-Star game, a.k.a. the Pro Bowl. Like they've tried to implement all these new like side things to it. No one cares. People are just talking about the Super Bowl going into the week of the Pro Bowl. People forget about the Pro Bowl. So, like, I think that's more on the NFL for not doing it earlier, or I don't know, maybe even after the season when it would be better. I don't know. But I think the one thing baseball is ahead on those two things as far as, like, what people want to sit down and watch is I think people like to sit down and watch the Home Run Derby at the All-Star break every year. I don't necessarily know if people care to sit down and watch the All-Star game, but I do think people care about watching the Home Run Derby because who doesn't like watching just balls being launched into the stands over and over? Just for the sake of something to be on top of the fact that there's nothing else on at that time either.
It's not watched as much as a Christmas Day NBA game.
No.
I mean, the NHL took themselves out of it, and they were just like, we're not going to compete. We're just going to let our league have – players can have a couple days off.
Sure.
We're not going to get involved in the mix because we can't compete. Right. And then they come back, Winter Classic, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, real quick, the Jesse article came out Christmas Eve, and that was kind of like – it was about the financial part. Bleacher Report has written about it. Basically, the gist of it is I don't think it feels like, and this isn't new breaking news, I don't think, it feels unlikely that they're going to be going after a mega deal. He talks about the CBA and how maybe the CBA is a time where things switch for them. But, yeah, it's private equity investors now, and they're trying to turn a profit and make sure everybody's getting their money, and it's not Cohen. It's a different setup. And I'm not sure it's the best for fans. If you really want your team to be good, not that it always guarantees your team's good if you make the wrong choices, but it certainly has to be more exciting, doesn't it? Now, they could prove everybody wrong by being competitive this year and staying under the luxury tax. It's a pretty big gamble.
Yeah.
For a president that has no playoff wins as president.
Can you feed me a little bit more about this article? Because admittedly, I haven't read it.
No, he's just talking about the finances of it. How one agent basically was like, "Oh, this is the Cubs' new version of going all in, the Tucker trade, giving up all this control for what potentially is 1 year of a star player. This is their 1 year, and it's talking about." It mentions the exceeding projections, and it's talking about the margins, right? Like going from 83 to 87 is important. Going from 75 to 77 isn't, because it's still not going to get to the playoffs. I'm not sure going from 83 to 87 is getting you to the playoffs. To me, the number's 90.
Yeah.
And I'll just say it again. I don't think that guarantees that you're going to do anything in the postseason either.
No.
Nothing does, but I'd rather have the team that won 100 games than I would the team that won. Yeah. And I'm just counting on them getting hot.
Yeah.
That's just Godfather, cheap.
I nothing against Jesse Rodgers, man. Like, he's so far into, like, he knows so much more than I do. He's talking to more people than me and you combined with this type of stuff, right? So I have no right to sit here and say that he's right or wrong or anything, to be honest. Like, I think what he is stating, based off what you're telling me, because I haven't read this article, it sounds like he's just stating the fact of the matter. That he feels that this is how the Cubs are operating.
Yeah.
And until proven otherwise, why should we think anything else? Right?
Right. They made a big move. Last year, they traded Bush, right? Bellinger came back. But it wasn't like this huge leap into free agency. It wasn't.
No.
They made the big Tucker trade, but are they going to make a move for Corbin Burns? He's like, no shot. Like, forget those dreams. That stuff's not happening.
Bleacher Nation had how do I say it? Do we need to do a break, by the way?
Yeah, we do.
We do. Here, tease it.
That's a big teaser. Plus the big holiday draft also coming up. And we'll talk about Brennen Davis. But first, Cody's going to tell us about one of our great sponsors.
We are sponsored by Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox. CHSM will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox. It will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They're also Chicago-based, Chicago-built, and Chicago to the core. They're bringing it to every corner of Chicago across our 77 neighborhoods and beyond. As CHSN Chicago comes first, visit chsn.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, Hawks, and Sox games all season long.
Cody, did you know that ComEd can help businesses save money by becoming more energy efficient?
I didn't know that, Luke.
Yeah, the Energy Efficiency Program can help find up to 35% in energy savings. Isn't that something?
So what do they have to do?
All they have to do is sign up for a free facility assessment at comed.com/biz.
So why aren't more businesses doing it?
Well, I guess they're probably just forgetting the website. You know, that's all I can think of is they're just forgetful.
Yeah, maybe. ComEd.com/biz. ComEd.com/biz.
One more time.
ComEd.com/biz.
That's it. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's energy usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Okay.
Barb wants to know if you got new pajamas. No, but those are new fleece sweatpants.
Yeah, I did get these sweatpants for Christmas.
Is there anything better than new fleece?
No.
The inside
These
of new
things-
fleece before it goes through the wash,
Yeah.
and it all
super
falls off in
soft.
the dryer.
Super soft. It
It's
feels
like
great.
Yeah, it's like a lamb is just brushed aside
Yeah.
your knee, right? It's beautiful.
So what I was going to say before the break, our friend Michael Cerami over at Bleacher Nation wrote an article or a blog, I guess you could technically say for them, about just the fact of the matter when it comes to Corbin Burns and the unlikelihood.
Mm-hmm.
First off, because I believe he was extended a qualifying offer, that means they would lose draft compensation if they signed him. But then also because they went over the luxury tax last year, they would lose.
They lose pool money, too.
They would lose pool money
December.
and another draft pick.
But that's not why they're not signing him. They're signing him because he's going to be very expensive.
Sure. Well, it's that, but I also do think, and this is more on Jed Hoyer than I think it's on Tom. Jed Hoyer cares about those types of things, which
I hope he does.
I hope he does as the president of baseball operations. I hope he cares about draft pick compensation and all of these things. At the same time, though, when you are at a place where it's like, okay, it's time to go over the tax. It's time to put this team in position to be in position, as I like to say.
Yeah.
Like, for 1 year, I think you can get by. But I don't know. I felt it was honestly if you're someone who likes to hope and dream a little bit like I do, like you read it and you're like, man, this is just depressing. Like this, he wrote it on Christmas Eve. I quote tweeted him. I was like, for you to write this on Christmas Eve, man, you couldn't have waited until like today, like the 26th or the 27th. Like, it's just, I think we all know that Corbin Burns for sure is a very, 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 very low possibility. And like I said,
zero.
It basically is zero. But the only way that I see it maybe happening is if it just extends out into February and maybe he takes the Bellinger contract of last year where it's like 3 or 4 years with an opt-out after 2025 and whatever. But again, though, like if you sign him, you're losing draft pick compensation. And I just feel like for big market teams, it's like, I don't think that's a big deal, but I don't know, man.
It's not happening. It's not happening. Justin with a great question here in the live YouTube chat. He says, Luke, did you play baseball in high school? What was your OPS? And the answer is there was no OPS because I knew as high school was beginning that I couldn't. I was like Javi Baez. Great with the glove. Couldn't hit a curveball. Mm-hmm. Couldn't hit any kind of moving baseball. Fastball, fine. I got
hit by a pitch every game.
I jumped to tennis. The cute girls were playing tennis. I was like, I'm out. You guys have fun.
I gave baseball a shot for a couple
Then everybody
years,
quit and went to play tennis.
And then went to basketball. So, yeah.
Yeah, everybody was like, baseball team. Baseball team stunk. Tennis team was great. All the baseball players went to go play tennis.
My school also just didn't invest in the baseball team to care enough. So.
Well, my baseball team once had Dave Kingman, former Cub. By the way, yesterday I think was his birthday. Long time ago. Nobody in this chat remembers Dave Kingman, except for Barb and Godfather. Thanks to everybody that joined in the live YouTube chat. I know you can be doing other things like returning all your holiday presents right now. Brennen Davis, right? I saw this news, right? But was it?
It was like
Christmas
Christmas
Eve?
Eve. It was Christmas Eve.
Signed with the Yankees?
Yeah. Shout out to Just Baseball. Aram, I can't remember his last name, reported it.
I'll just say
Credit
this.
to him. Just Baseball Media.
It's the closure we've needed, but it hurt. I don't know. For me, for some reason, Brennen Davis was the prospect that I wanted to see. It's not that I don't want to see Owen Casey. It's not that I don't want to see these other guys. Brennen Davis was spoken about as like this next great outfielder in baseball. 5-tool guy, was going to do it all. Everybody that talked about him was like, man, wait till you see this guy. There's nothing he can't do on a baseball field. And it's not the Cubs' fault. It's not his fault. Injuries changed everything. And yeah, he could have stayed here. He could have come back and not. But I understand if he's a little. Listen, if you're hurt that much, you're probably looking for somewhere to place blame. Yeah. Anybody would. And the most obvious place to place it is you're never going to look at it and say it's just bad luck. If you're trying to find blame, you're going to say, well, it's all been with this team. Maybe I just need to go somewhere else where the medical plan is different. I don't know that he's right about that, but I totally understand if he was just like, fresh start, Yankees. Now, the Yankees would be a landing spot. I've seen it in the live YouTube chat, and I don't disagree. If he's healthy, you watch him hit like 30 bombs in 2026. Yeah. He'll come up at the end of next year. They'll call him up. They'll need help in the outfield. Bellinger will get hurt. They'll call up Brennen Davis, and Brennen Davis will be great.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, I haven't gone to look, but I wouldn't be surprised if Davis is in the Yankees' top 30, just based off how good their farm system is, which isn't very good.
But it's time to find out about him. If he's healthy, that's what they'll do. They'll call him up when Bellinger has his first injury stint.
I totally understand like your way of thinking of that, and fans think of that. But like, what do you want the Cubs to do?
No, there's nothing. It's just
a sad state of affairs.
It's just a disappointing, sad thing that we never got to see him at Wrigley in a Cubs uniform.
And if he does, to be honest with you, Luke, if he does play well with the Yankees, I'll be happy for him because there's no spot for him here. They gave him the opportunity. It's not like he had that back injury and they were done. They legitimately tried to keep giving him opportunities. They could have called him up when
he hit like 6 homers in 3 days, and I was like, call him up. And then he got hurt 4 days later.
They could have, sure. I don't know, man. It just sucks. But it's also just another reminder that, prospects are prospects.
I hope he does well for the Yankees. I really do. For him. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that the Cubs have a prospect now that's ranked as high as Brennen Davis was at his peak. I'm not great with the prospect numbers. Like, hey,
PCA got ranked as high as
top 10. Wasn't Brennen Davis top 15?
He was top 15. Yeah,
it's pretty high. All right, let's get to.
But PCA was a top 15 prospect in baseball entering last year.
Okay,
so I don't. Matt Shaw's in the top 30 in baseball. I don't think he's top 20. Cade Horton, probably without the injury, would be in that top 20, I think. I mean, what's the difference between being top 15 and top 40?
I don't know. Probably nothing.
Like, I don't know.
The Cubs' top prospects don't make it.
Well, PCA's.
Well, except for new ones, but they traded for them. All right, let's get to whatever everybody's been. The amount of people that have texted me over the last 10 days, please do a holiday draft. Begging us to do all right, here it is.
When did I say I would trade Hap to let Brennen Davis play left arm?
Sarah's you're going to get in on this, right, Sarah?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's the rules for the holiday draft. We've got about 20 minutes to knock this out, a little bit less.
Yes.
Is Sarah part of the draft?
Here are the rules.
Yeah.
We've already done the Thanksgiving draft. Thanksgiving is not included. Black Friday is not included. Anything after that through New Year's Day is what we're talking about. So if Gary wants to bid on day 4 of Hanukkah or day 1 of Hanukkah, okay. If Gary wants or somebody wants to do the menorah as something, that you could draft the menorah. If you want to draft a Christmas Eve service, you could draft that. If you want to draft Christmas cookies, you could draft that. If you want to draft tripping over your Ralph Lauren box while you're holding your champagne and a giant steak, Sarah could do that. It's all open.
Say that again. So it's before or after?
Anything after Thanksgiving.
Oh, anything after Thanksgiving.
And anything up through New Year's Day. So if you want to do waking up New Year's Day and watching bowl games, fine. If you want to do whatever.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Luke, we'll start with you.
Mistletoe, fine.
Yeah.
Number one pick.
Mistletoe.
I have mistletoe at my apartment. A real one.
I saw someone
Really?
tweet yesterday that it was like there were a Christmas parlay and they were like under 0.5 mistletoe kisses cashed. Anyway,
If somebody picks mistletoe, we'll discuss this. Number one pick overall,
oh god,
Santa. Santa.
okay,
Right, as a kid, is there anything better than Santa? Santa. Santa's my number
you're
one
in
pick.
a time where you're living a time where you believe in anything. You have something to believe in.
Got to watch the movie Elf.
You haven't.
Oh, that's
been-
one I could pick. Oh, Santa.
You haven't been revealed to
Maybe I
the
should've
cold
gone
reality
movie
of our world yet. So
All right. Yeah, my number one pick
Santa?
is Santa.
Okay.
Old Saint Nick brings holiday cheer. I don't know how he gets down the chimney. I was telling my son this. I said, I don't know how Santa got that giant rocket ship down our tiny fireplace that's not really a fireplace. I don't know how he did it. But that's the magic of Santa.
okay,
A lot of assembly.
I'm a big movie guy
Oh,
during the holiday season.
Oh,
I don't know if like
oh, not just movies.
not-
You're going
not
to give a
just
specific
movies.
movie.
Specific movie here.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go. I don't. Home Alone is my favorite.
Home
one.
Alone. That's
Home
a
Alone.
good pick.
That's my favorite Christmas movie.
Doesn't fit, does it, Sarah? It's too big.
I got it.
She's going to have to go smaller font. It is a great. I know there's a lot of debate about is Die Hard, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And Home Alone is definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's no debating. You can debate whether Die Hard is, because Home Alone is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I mean,
When
the
they
amount
try
of
to get
times
into the
I
house.
watched it when I was a kid, and I still watch it to this day.
Yeah. It's a pretty good 20-minute stretch when they're trying to get into the house and
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister's letting loose on them. It's a pretty timeless moment in movies, right? Like, that doesn't matter what generation, everybody laughs at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it just like what's gonna happen, but like you continue,
It's still funny.
You still find certain parts of it funny,
People getting hit in the face and hit in the head and hurting themselves is always funny.
and it's quotable too. You know how many every time I see someone I know named Kevin, and I just yell Kevin,
Right.
even not during Christmas time, but it's just like because of Home Alone, So I also you can do that with SpongeBob as well, the pickle episode.
No, I've never seen that. Now, I'm interested to see what Sarah's going to pick for her first round. For her first round selection, I'm not surprised you went Home Alone. I'm obviously not surprised I went Santa, but Sarah's a wild card.
Wild card,
Anything could happen.
especially with this picture. she put
Absolute
on the
wild
graph-
card. Right
on the
now,
graphic
she's
here.
probably, her attention's already gone on to the Bears tailgate, but she's forced to make a selection here. Look at that picture.
It's the company hasn't made me a little character yet, so I'm still waiting.
Oh,
But
well, damn.
what
Okay.
is it? I'm gonna go with Christmas lights. Because
Christmas lights. I like that.
Because I love looking at Christmas lights, and I like looking at people's places all decorated, and I like looking at the tree. I like the Christmas lights.
I really do kind of feel like every place would be nicer if Christmas lights were up all year round.
Yeah.
Doesn't
agree.
every house look nicer with Christmas lights?
Yeah.
I've lived places like Texas where it's warm enough that you're not going to have snow anyways. The Christmas lights still look nice. No, it kind of slaps, as you say. When you get a little snow underneath it, the scene slaps a little bit more. But I'll tell you that
Yeah.
Christmas lights look nice. Don't you like going to a restaurant and they got the little
I was
lights
just about to
outside
say that
anywhere?
we come from a family. We go out to eat on Christmas Eve, and we always pick like a really decked out, decorated place, and they
Yeah.
always have lights all over the place. It just looks really pretty.
When you come in on 90 every day, right?
Yeah.
When you take that curve on 90 and there's like
On top of that building with all the little.
it's
Oh,
I
by
think-
O'Hare.
I want to say it's out
like,
by O'Hare.
It's like Park Ridge. There's a
Yeah.
little display down
Yeah,
there
there's
that's
a
been there for
display.
years. I
Yeah.
think that's just part of Park Ridge,
Is it?
but it's like Rosemont, Park Ridge. It's kind of right in that.
It's coming in from the suburbs last night and we saw it. So
Arlington Heights has a nice one at North Park School that you can walk around like trains. It's not zoo lights or anything, but Sarah's talking about like zoo lights is fun too.
Yeah, I went to zoo lights. I love that. I just love, Christmas lights all throughout December on Christmas.
The one at the Botanic Gardens, have you been to that?
Yeah, I have.
That's great.
pretty.
Just don't go when it's 30 below.
Oh,
Same thing with zoo lights.
We had good, it was good weather. It was like, I think like 45, 50.
This is nice weather. If you get this weather and just a little light snow,
Totally.
Christmas lights.
All right, Luke,
As Cody say, they slap.
What's your second?
Well, no,
Don't
this is
you-
you. We're going back
we're
the other
going back
way.
to
So
me.
this is I.
Snake.
Oh, okay. So I
Snake
already
draft.
know. I'm gonna put a snowman because I know we haven't had snow in Chicago on Christmas in a long
disappointing, yeah.
time. But when there is snow,
Mhm.
it gets me in the holiday spirit, and I like to build
It's the
snowmen.
only day of the year where I feel like snow is wanted is on Christmas.
Yes. So I'll do a
Absolutely.
snowman.
I'm okay with it right up through New Year's Day. Then
Sure.
melt it away.
Yeah.
Like
melted
even New
away.
Year's is kind of nice. Have a little snow. It doesn't need to be 40 below. Nice snow coat. Nice. The kids can try out their sleds they got for the holidays for Hanukkah or Christmas or whatever.
I was telling the lady the other day that the only reason I like snow while living here in Chicago is whenever I walk out to my street, and I live towards the end of the street on my street, and so I like to walk out to the street after a snow, like the day that after it snows. Walk to the middle of the street and then just look down.
Yeah.
And like there's a ton of trees, and then like the fact is there's like no car has been moved.
Yes.
There's no steps, and you can see all the snow on the branches. It's like
That-
the only
the
thing
branch-
about the snow that
branches
I like.
are good.
Yeah.
Snow branch. I think you're ADD like me. On a big snow, like when it's, one of those 15 inchers, don't you want your backyard or wherever to be perfectly smooth? If a rabbit goes across that thing, I want that thing caught and fried up. You just ruined my snowscape. Or if some kid runs through it and you're just like, oh, now it doesn't look nearly as nice, right?
Mhm.
Don't get footsteps. All right, Cody,
All right,
what's
Cody.
your Snowman's a good one.
All right, so when we did the Thanksgiving one, I think it really described me as a person.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that here.
You gonna
So-
put bets? Holiday
I mean,
bets. Here we
hey, there's
go.
so much gambling to be had,
The
man.
Christmas
There is a lot of
parlay
gambling.
can't be beat.
The Christmas parlay. Yeah, I mean, I won't do sports betting on this one just because
Just be
sports
you.
betting on
Just be you.
Thanksgiving
Matt Nagy,
is
be you.
different. Be you. Let's see. I went movie. Let's go food this time. Chinese food.
Oh,
Chinese food. I didn't have Chinese food yesterday, but it normally is a like tradition. And I celebrate Christmas, right?
yeah.
But I love Chinese food, and it's just become kind of part of the tradition. Anyway.
All right, Luke.
I'm gonna go cookies.
Cookies is a good one.
Cookies. Is there
I
a
do
never?
love
There's
cookies.
no other time of year where you're gonna eat more cookies,
True.
right? Summertime, nobody's hauling out boxes full of cookies for people. Nobody's spending all day baking in the oven because it's too hot outside. This is cookie season.
Yes.
Holiday season's cookie season. Even the people that should never open up an oven and try to bake their own cookies, even those people are trying to bake cookies.
Sure.
And usually they're pretty good because they're loaded with butter and sugar.
Oh,
Santa and cookies are my top two picks. I have to make the snake pick coming around, huh?
yeah.
Santa, cookies.
It's far and away Luke is pandering to the people on the internet right now.
Well, I mean, Christmas lights was a good one. I'm not going to lie. Santa, cookies, presents. Presents. There's no other time of year when little Christian boys and girls get more presents. Right? I mean, let's be honest.
It is
Even
fun.
if you're not Christian, there's more presents this time of year.
It's fun.
This is the season of presents.
Yeah.
Gifts. I like that. I like a good gift. I like getting them more than I like giving them.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I get.
Some people say they like the gift of giving. Not me. I like to receive my gifts.
I like both. I enjoy both.
Sure.
pretty
It's,
well.
it's a nice feeling to give a good gift.
I get impatient just because I get excited about what I got for someone else, but I also love receiving gifts as well.
That's
I'll never
right.
deny it.
I like a good gift.
All right,
Remember
Cody?
that.
Okay. So how far up can we go to New Year's Day?
You can go through New Year's Day, sure.
New Year's Day.
Whatever. I mean, you're not going to you're not going to Valentine's Day, are we?
Right. No,
I guess if you want to do
no, we won't do that. No.
forced Valentine's cards created by Hallmark, go ahead.
How about no, that's only really during. How about like, what's the version, like what's the Christmas version of like Friendsgiving? Like, is there a term, or is it just Christmas party?
Just like a holiday
a Secret
party?
Santa party or holiday party, or what's the one where it's a gag gift?
Oh, white outfit?
White elephant
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, we can go
So
with
just
that.
like, you want a white elephant?
Sure, let's
or
do
just-
white
Or just put friends.
Friends and
friends and family.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do friends and family.
Companionship.
I was trying to think of like the term. I've done movie, I've done food, and then like the whole we have to communicate
Friends
with other
and fam.
humans part. Sometimes that can not necessarily be a good thing. I think a lot of people are like, I'd rather not.
I can't see the chat, but I see people talking about the blizzard of '79. That was obviously you were not alive, and certainly Sarah was not alive. The blizzard of '79 was probably the greatest Christmas of my life. I was 7, and we got this blizzard where you literally had to put a sign for the mailman to show like where your mailbox was and stuff. And my cousins from Colorado got stranded here. So, your older cousins are stuck at your house for like an extra 4 or 5 days.
Mhm.
Doesn't get better than that.
Remember I wasn't alive in '79, but remember what was it? Just like within the last 2 years, the polar vortex.
Yeah, same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Only this wasn't as cold. This was just like piles of snow. We had a parking lot kind of on the edge of our house. So you know how they make the snow mounds at any parking lot. Anything gets plowed, right?
Mm.
So we could sled in our backyard. Great stuff.
I already know
As a
my
kid.
next pick.
Oh,
I'm
all right.
going
Let's hear
with
it.
Here we go.
steak, because I am a steak household for the
Steak.
holidays.
You're stealing all the steaks.
So I'm going to do steak.
Steak.
I don't. You know what?
Okay.
I'm starting to not like inviting Sarah to this party. She's taken a few of them that I
Steak
and
isn't
she's
on
got a little
the-
attitude in that photo about it too,
She
right?
does,
a
yeah,
little bit
especially with the
attitude.
hat. Especially with the hat. Yeah.
All right. What is it? Oh, it's back to me then.
Back to Sarah. Take
Oh,
something
boy.
else now from us.
Okay, let's do. I like Christmas music a lot. I enjoy listening. My mom always has it playing on the background for like the whole
That's
day.
solid.
Yeah.
Mariah
It's not the
can go
holidays
away,
with
though.
it's not holidays
I
without
like
a little.
I like classical Christmas music. I'm a big fan of the
Yeah.
Elvis Christmas album.
All of them are great.
Frank Sinatra's.
Bing Crosby. How about a little Bing Crosby?
We watched White Christmas last night. Yeah, I love all
Ba-rum-ba-bum,
that.
bum. Well, yeah, I agree. Mariah can go away. One of my favorite things
She's
in the last
useless.
30 years.
She's useless.
She is. We all hate Mariah. Is that a holiday?
Yeah, I don't listen to her on Christmas.
Somebody should take
Everyone
no Mariah.
talks about the one song, right?
The one song that she then butchered on
that's all
live
she has
television because her
going for
earpiece
her.
went out is one of the greatest live moments in television history. Was her just slaughtering her own song.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good, Sarah. Yeah, Christmas music. It's not a holiday season without a little
Okay.
Christmas music.
We've
Right.
made it to
Cody?
4. I got a movie. I got food. I got the idea of actually talking to your friends and family. Let's do something sports related.
All right.
How about baseball winter meetings?
Oh,
That's a good
no,
one.
That's not.
No?
Nothing's happened.
This
You
year
wanna
it
change?
did,
You're right.
and most years
All
it
right.
does.
All right, he's going a little baseball. He's pandering to our
Baseball.
crowd.
Well, you have Santa cookies and gifts.
Well, my next one might be Roki. Just watch.
I was what?
What's more holiday than Roki under the tree? So
Oh, you want Roki?
No, I'm not
Oh,
going to
okay.
take Roki. That
I mean,
doesn't
they
seem
do
right.
the winter meetings in December every year,
That's right.
and
It's
we
the
all
start of the holiday season.
and we all
I do like the
literally
graphics we
sit on our
use.
phones and refresh Twitter like a bunch of idiots every year, thinking that the Cubs are going to sign or trade for the best player in baseball.
All right,
We all
Luke.
do it.
Number 4, I'm going to go with my favorite movie of all time, Clark Griswold. Just give me the Griswolds.
You did that last year too. That's such a good one.
Just give me the Griswolds.
Perfect.
Bears fan.
I was going to say Christmas Vacation. I didn't want people to confuse it for kids getting out of school. which as a kid, there is nothing better than Christmas vacation. A long stretch of no school, and you get a bunch of toys.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. But for my last one, this is my last one, snaking back around. What am I forgetting? I don't want to regret anything. Santa, cookies, gifts, the Griswolds. Oh, boy, this is tough. I know I'm forgetting something. Family's been taken.
Steak has been taken.
Steak has been taken.
Yes.
I got all the cookies. I mean, a good Christmas tree is tough to beat.
Christmas
tree? I mean, what is it without a good Christmas tree,
kind of what I was
right?
thinking too.
Christmas, or I do love the song Silent Night. It really hits on Christmas Eve.
On Silent Night?
Silent Night and or Christmas tree. Sledding? Sledding could be on there. We got no snow right now. I'll go Christmas tree.
All right.
No, wait. What about mistletoe? We talked about mistletoe.
Someone has to take it.
Have you ever taken advantage of mistletoe?
In real life?
Yeah, like have you ever had a kiss that you really may not have been able to get, but you were under the mistletoe, somebody was forced to kiss you that you thought, wow, this is my opportunity.
No.
Never.
I've never
It's
accidentally
a scam.
been under a mistletoe.
You're never dragging somebody or anything and be like, hey, look.
It's usually planned.
Yeah, can you ever imagine somebody at a bar being like, well, sorry, you're under the mistletoe.
God.
After maybe a few drinks.
Yeah, and then an assault charge.
Is that what you want?
Or a right hook. No, I'm going to go Christmas tree.
Christmas tree?
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
I was going to say, it'd be really funny if you would have put mistletoe on there. Just so when we tweet it out.
I think it might be the most worthless holiday. If we were doing the anti-holiday draft, for me, that would be New Year's Eve. Yeah. That's my least favorite holiday.
All right, we got about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, Cody?
Let's go, Cody.
Let's go. Okay, I did movie. I did food. I did the act of actually talking to your friends and family.
What about Nakatomi Plaza?
I did sports with baseball winter meetings. And then let's go Chicago to close it out. The Chris Kendall Market.
Oh, yeah. Did you see Chicago got voted like the most spirited place for Christmas in the country? Did you see that?
Okay.
We had like the best
That's
holiday
fine.
We're the best city in the country.
We need a little more snow for that maybe right now, but yeah, that's fine.
Chris Kendall Market.
I'll update this.
I'd like to go somewhere in Europe once for Christmas.
I'm sad that they didn't have it at Wrigley this year.
Super sad they didn't have it at Wrigley.
Because it's better than the one downtown.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You're in the middle of a bunch of buildings.
Okay.
All right, Sarah, the final pick.
I am going with one of my favorite classic Christmas movies, and I'm going to pick Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown,
Yep.
Christmas. Boy, I love those old Rudolph
low-key
ones.
Win this? I don't think I'm going to win. I just chose what I like.
I've got Santa and cookies and Clark Griswold on my list.
That's fair.
I think everyone has good ones.
Sarah might have stole it with steak, which isn't even Christmassy. It's just everybody loves a good
I know
steak.
that I'm not going to win, but
I hope the vegetarians go anti-Sarah.
These are the 5 things that I'm focused on during the holiday season, though.
Sarah went meat. Yeah. Sarah went meat. That's difficult to beat.
This is all the stuff. Honestly,
my favorite Christmas movie.
It's personality-wise.
We're not even saying it's
Chinese
best. This is just
food.
what we like.
Yep. Okay, well, keep an eye on our CHGO_Cubs Twitter, where we will do a poll and everyone can vote.
Gingerbread house.
Everyone can vote for who do you think has the best one.
And then when Luke loses, he will make excuses and blame all of the internet.
Just remember, I told you they'd trade Bellinger. I told you they were going to trade Paredes. And I told you Bellinger was going to sign on the 24th. And 83.
83. Just never forget the 83 wins.
He's gonna not a diverse draft, Gary says. He wanted a few Hanukkah picks. I almost took the menorah for you.
I'm not Jewish.
I was gonna say I don't celebrate that.
I don't either.
Holiday. Yeah.
But Gary, you're put your 5 out on Twitter. Comment your 5 back. That's how you do it. All right, we got to go.
Yep.
Sarah's got to get over to get the tailgate all set up and running. They're gonna have Sweetwater barbecue.
Ooh.
They're gonna have
Firewater
Blue Moons.
barbecue.
Firewater
barbecue.
Firewater barbecue. Excuse me.
Enjoy the tailgate because that's going to be the only thing good about the Bears game.
Enjoy the tailgate. Stay for the tailgate. And
enjoy all the Blue Moons.
Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast. Corey and Brennan have one for you coming up on Friday. We will see you back here on Monday. Enjoy the Bears game, I guess, and the tailgate. Until then, thanks for watching and fly the W. Happy Hanukkah, Gary.
We all silly like the mayor.